8:06. That is the time in the studios of Q95 FM radio. As we begin the In the Spotlight radio show for tonight, good evening, one and all, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. It is time for your favorite Monday night program. We thank you as always for choosing us. We know that you have other options, but you have decided to choose us. I suspect because this is a program that touches our listeners, our viewers in many different ways. It is a program that inspires. It is a program that motivates. It is a program that gives us an opportunity to draw on the experiences of others, whether good or bad. Probably we learn from the bad, we connect with the good, and use it as examples to improve on ourselves, to improve on our lives. It is Bobby from Harlem Plaza, yes. Somebody's asking, is that Bobby from Harlem Plaza? Just reaching out to the folks who are already tuned in via the Facebook Live. We are happy to have you. There are the regulars who are always here, no matter what. Glenda, good evening to you. Yes, Gilbert, it is Bobby. If you are listening via www.q95da.com, we are happy to have you. If you're using one of the online streaming mediums, we are happy to have you as well. And if you are listening on 95.1 FM, it is our pleasure to have you. If you want to see what's going on here, if you want to see the guests, then you can go across to my Facebook page. Just go to Fedina Frampton and type that in, you'll find me. And you simply follow me. You're going to have to follow me because I can no longer accept any more friends. I'm at my 5K maximum. So just simply follow me and you'll be able to come on and to see what's happening here. It is a beautiful Monday night in Dominica. Let's thank God for life, for His grace, for His mercies, for His blessings each and every day. No matter what the day brings, take it. If it brings challenges, it's not going to last forever. Remember that. If it brings you good, continue to always give thanks for that. Acknowledging Q95 FM radio, Mr. Gregoire, good evening to you. Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to do this on the program, on the radio station, do this program on your radio station. To me, it is a blessing to be able to be here. As although I call Mondays my long day Monday, it's a day that starts off early and doesn't end until this program is over. Hey, but I love it and I do it. And the numbers on the live are increasing as people really seem to be interested in my guest tonight, acknowledging the young men who make up Innovate Multimedia. Thank you for your support. Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited. I know, Jenny, I need to come and restock, and I will soon. Dominica News Online, always very supportive. Thank you. And you, the listeners, the fans of this program, remember to become a fan of our Facebook page or Facebook fans page. You can also like the In the Spotlight Facebook page. But for now, I'm alone tonight, so you're going to have to check out the program via my page. And as I said, you may simply have to follow me if you want to view. If you're not my friend on Facebook, you're going to have to simply follow me and you can get to see what's going on here. Hello, Charmaine. Good evening to you. Good evening, Peter Thomas. Just a few folks saying good evening already on the live. So thank you guys. As we get ready tonight for a gentleman, people call, well, when I posted, I said, you know, Bobby Frederick. Somebody came and said Ras Bobby. So I suspect it's going to be Ras Bobby tonight. But Bobby Frederick, and we've spoken about Bobby being on this program for some time now. Yes. Bobby and I have had that conversation, and we just have not gotten around to it, except for tonight. And Bobby's here. And Bobby has said to me, 2 hours is not going to be enough. But I said to Bobby, you know what, Bobby, I'll take what I can get in 2 hours. Bobby, good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Frederick.
How are you? How are you?
Well, very fine and doing well, as you can see.
I can definitely see, and I really would like to thank you for agreeing to be here on the program. You know, I always say no one has to consent to be here. It's supposed to, I mean, you're coming to talk about your life, you know. You're coming to talk about your life so the world can hear and those who can see, you know. So it's not very often that I get people saying no to me, but all the same, you know, I am always grateful and thankful when people agree to come on the program. So thank you, Bobby.
And you're welcome, Frederick.
All right.
And once you call out, always turn up.
Thank you so much. I want to give you the opportunity to just hail up the folks who are listening.
Well, yeah, let me say good night to and hello to the people who you're now your fans, who are
yes.
the number one listeners. Also, a lot of my friends and family have, I know, tuned in tonight.
I got a few follows today, and I said these people are coming from Bobby because they want to see Bobby tonight.
Yeah, and they're all wishing me well, you know. So I do appreciate that, and I hope. The spotlight shines bright tonight.
It is going to shine very bright, I'm sure. It always shines bright here on the program. So it is going to continue to shine bright on you, Bobby. So Bobby, let us start. We're going to get into the meat of the matter and start having our conversation here on the program tonight. So I know Bobby Frederick as a Rasta man.
True.
Yes. I know Bobby Frederick as a politician.
True.
I know Bobby Frederick as a businessman.
True.
I know Bobby Frederick as a father.
That's true.
And I'm sure there's Bobby Frederick, the brother, the uncle, the godfather maybe, and quite a few other things that I suspect we're going to discover tonight. So Bobby, let us begin by just getting a sense of who Bobby Frederick is, the person.
Well, I didn't just surface that. At Harlem Plaza. To everybody seemed to connect me with Harlem Plaza. But actually, was born in Colliho, on the west coast of Dominica.
That's where you're from?
Yeah, Colliho, and I'm very proud of that.
Okay.
If I had probably paid more attention to being down there, I probably would in the politics end up as a padre. But it's too late. But I'm from Colliho. I was born on November 3rd, a long time ago.
My fellow November born.
Yeah.
I don't know if you believe in the signs, but at least we're November born.
And scops are tops.
That's right. Scops are tops.
Yeah.
I like that. Scops are tops.
Yeah.
Scorpions.
So the first 6 years of my life was spent in Colliho.
Okay.
No electricity, no roads there back then, you know. Like I said, that's a long, long time ago.
Apparently, and I learned your age as well tonight, and I will leave it up to you if you want to say what your age is. But you people keep to knock me off my boots when I learn your age. There was a lady there last week as well with me, Rosetta Fevrier, and she told me she was 70 plus, and I was like, no, you're not. And neither are you, Bobby.
Well, I sat on the same bench with Ferdinand Frampton
yes.
in grammar school.
Wow.
So if you know Ferdinand Frampton, you know his age.
Sassy Papa Indeed, indeed, Bobby, but you look well.
Thanks.
You look well, and you'll tell me what is the secret to your success in that regard a bit later on.
Well, yeah, as we go along.
As we go along.
Things will come out.
Things will come out, right?
But anyways, from around 6, I left Colliho and came up to town. Lived on River Street for a while. I don't know if you know a lady called Mother Glads.
Mother Glads?
Yeah, we shared a 2-room house there on River Street in Lago. stayed there for a while and we moved up to Goodwill. I was up till about 12, and then I went up to Newtown, and my grandparents, until I left Jamaica.
Okay, so let us backtrack a bit. What area in Collier are you from?
It's right down by the bay. I don't know if you're familiar with Collier, you know,
Not so familiar.
Bay tambourine tree. Well, Marius threw that down.
Is it when you're passing?
You know where President Lily lives in Collier?
Is my partner, but no.
You know President Lily?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, just at the back of President Lily's house.
Okay. Is there a name for that area?
Place La Dame, about 30 feet from that place.
Okay.
Right.
So but you were very young when you left Collier.
The name I'm familiar with in Collier is a place called Gomago.
Gomago.
Yeah, that's at the top. You know where the lady who does the roast plantain and codfish?
That's correct.
Right, that
yes.
was called Gomago.
Okay, so it's that area going
I'm
in.
Very right. I'm very familiar with that area.
Okay.
And I remember that name, but the rest of it is just Collier to me.
Okay. Say hello to the rest of the Nyabingi guys, especially Wa from Ras Algi daughter. Okay, alright. What is another one I need to get in that series?
Yes, you
We've spoken about it already, so it's something I need to organize, definitely.
You want to talk Rasta, Wa is one.
Wa is the man.
Yeah, he's the high priest.
He's the high priest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've met him a few times. We've spoken about it and he has consented. So I suspect it's just to arrange it. But Bobby, tell me about your family from Collier.
Well, actually, my mother happened to be there taking care of her grandmother. But my mother is from Newtown.
Oh, your mother is from Newtown? Yeah. Okay.
And she happened to be in Collier at that time when this tall, ugly policeman from Antigua.
Oh my goodness. Is that where the height came from?
Yes.
Okay.
and slim, you know.
So your mother met a tall, ugly policeman from Antigua.
Yeah, and Bobby Frederick is the result of that.
I see.
So I remember my mother telling me that November 3rd, as you know, was Discovery Day. We now call it Independence, but it was called Discovery Day.
Before Independence?
Yeah.
It was called Discovery Day?
Yeah.
Well, I'm discovering new things tonight, Bobby. Tell me about that Discovery Day.
So I was born on Discovery Day.
You were born on Discovery. Was it a holiday?
Right, because that was always a holiday here.
Oh.
And so there were people blowing on the conch shells, not horns like motorcar horns, there are no motorcars in Collier. But the conch shells, you know, they were having out for the good time, but it just so happens that that's the time this bouncing baby boy came along.
So where were you born? Were you born at the hospital? Were you born?
No, in the house.
In the house?
Yeah, with a lady called Miss Pascal was a midwife.
A midwife?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So Bobby born in Collier to an Antiguan man. How strong is the Antiguan roots to Bobby? Are you connected with the Antiguan roots in any way?
Not really. I do have family in Antigua, but I'm more Dominican.
You're more Dominican.
I notice sometimes I'm slightly different in my approach and attitude towards things as unlike my Dominican counterparts.
I see. Okay.
So I guess that might be the Garrett bouncing.
How did your father get to be in Dominica?
He came as a policeman. That was back then when they sent men from, say, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Antigua to Dominica as policemen. They sent Dominicans to somewhere else.
You see how they were spreading those Caribbean roots?
Right, yeah. So that was how this guy came in, and I'm a result of that.
Are you the only one?
No, he actually had.
I mean, with your mom.
Yeah, I was
Only
the
one
one
with your mom.
Yeah,
but he had other children.
Yeah, he actually well, that's another story.
It's all right. The story's we're here to hear tonight.
My mom was one of the three prettiest women there in the village.
See.
You know? And they were the ones who made this joke about him being this ugly guy. And the Dominican police explained to him what these women were saying. They spoke in patois. So he says, well, okay, it didn't really matter. So I was born November 3rd, my half-brother George. My half-brother Mark is born December 4th.
Same year?
Yeah.
Your father really shot them?
Oh yeah, he was good. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And I must say a little bit of that rubbed off with me because
You have the same ways, Bobby?
Well, not in. But I do have some beautiful children sort of scattered around, you know.
I see. Is that's your nice way of putting it. I do have some beautiful children scattered around.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So tell me, in terms of your father, did he remain in Dominica?
No,
he moved to somewhere else?
He moved to England. He's one of the early, when these people were living. He went up in '56, and he was one of them. So I didn't see much of him really. None of him.
None of him actually.
So.
So soon after you were born?
Well, he maybe a couple years after that.
Okay.
But he being a policeman, and like I transferred from Collyho to Salisbury and then Maho and probably in town, you know. So.
Okay.
It's back then.
All right. Bobby, tell me about your mom. I always like to know about the parents.
My mom was the prettiest lady.
I like that.
She really was, man. One of them with Shabby. She's a pinard from Newton. I don't know if you know the pinards on Bath Road. That's my family.
Well, I know pinards.
You know Marcella?
Yes, of course.
Yes. So that's my first cousin, you know, Colbert Pinard.
Of course, that's my family too, from Pishley, my close family, yes.
And Korean.
Yes.
So we have a strong family unit from Newton Pinards. And then, of course, I was one of, my mom had 15 of us. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. 15.
Yeah. All nice children, all beautiful, successful children.
Really? Where are they?
Three have died.
3 have died.
And the 12 of us alive.
In Dominica?
No. You know brother Philogen?
Yes.
That's my brother.
Ah.
You know Charmaine Philogen?
Yes. From Ormisha?
No, she's in Antigua now, but Charmaine was the one to school with you, convent.
Of course!
Charmaine. Yeah.
Of course.
That's my sister.
Oh.
Yeah. So
15 of you.
And we done well, you know, academically, just taking care of our kids, being loyal friends to the people that we know. Yeah, we done well.
What did she do, your mom?
She was a housewife.
The homemaker?
The homemaker. She was a very good seamstress. I remember I had a lot of shifts because when like people got tough for her to make clothes for them, keep a piece, and I ended up with a shift.
Oh my.
Yeah.
A few of them.
Yeah.
You ended up with.
Multicolored.
A piece from that, a piece from that. But Bobby would get a couple of shirts.
Nice shirts,
You had nice shirts,
and
yes.
she was a good cook, very good cook. She baked bread and, jams and that kind of thing. Beautiful woman, very clean.
Yeah, very clean.
My brothers and sisters and I have taken that from her. Very, very clean, meticulous.
Very orderly,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was from her.
That was from her.
Yeah.
And just tell me a bit more about your siblings, where they are, what they're doing, those that you can remember off your head.
Well, like brother Philogen is at the academy.
Yes.
And the thing, Charmaine is in Antigua. Jennifer is in New Jersey.
Okay.
Joyce is in New Jersey too. Cyril and Clayton in Canada. Dolly, Olivia is in England. David is in England. Ronnie is here. He just came in from Florida.
Okay.
How many so far?
It's a few. We're definitely not going to get
And then I have brothers from my father now. All of these are in England.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm actually one of about 21, 22 brothers.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot. That's a lot, Bobby. All right, so you are one of the few who are actually here in Dominica. So let us talk a bit about life growing up. So you left Collyho. You may not remember much from Collyho.
Well, apart from swimming in the river
yes.
and on the sea and that kind of thing.
And then you left at 6.
Yes, 6, 7.
6, 7.
Yeah.
Tell us again how it came about that you had to leave.
Well, my mom came back up because her grandmother, who she was taking care of, died. So
Okay.
there was no reason for her to be down there.
Okay, so she no longer cared for, she no longer did what she was doing in Colligo.
No, she came up to town. By then, she was married to a guy from Colligo.
Okay.
That's Brother Philogen's dad.
Okay.
Right.
So he came with her to Newtown?
To Roseau.
To Roseau.
We lived in River Street.
River Street.
I went to a school on River Street called Brother Walker. Some people, older people will remember Brother Walker. You know the long house in River Street opposite where Hazel lives? There's a long house with about 3.
Yes, yes.
Right. That's where we went to school.
Oh.
That was, yeah.
And what was it called?
Brother Walker.
You those guys teach me, and I'm sure the listeners, so many things that we are clueless about. We have no idea about. Brother Walker. So that was the name of the house or the name of the area?
The school man, his name, the teacher, the guy who ran the school,
was named Brother Walker.
Yeah, so the school was Brother Walker School.
Well, most of us just think that we had just the regular normal schools, which were primary, etc. It was a boys' school,
Right.
and so on. No. So Brother Walker was at a primary school?
Yes, like not kindergarten, yeah, primary.
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
I remember the first day I went there, I was not accustomed to shoes. And I call you need PA, you know. So I go to school by Brother Walker, and when I went home, I left my shoes at the school. I walk home naked.
Oh, you were not familiar with that. This was new to you. So, lobby Sulela. I'm sure you got familiar with your shoes afterwards, Bobby.
Yeah.
So, Bobby, let us talk about that, about, school days, your youth, your young days growing up.
Well, in those days, from the Brother Walker, I went to mixed school.
Mixed school
was where Mona Piper's,
the apartment building, yes.
That's where we went to mixed school.
Okay.
Mrs. Robinson, Jock Robinson's wife was the headmistress there.
Okay.
Very strong, powerful woman. There were other teachers. I remember Miss Rosemary, Miss Severin. Remember these people because, I mean, the ones now, I don't want to say they're jokers, but these people were serious, disciplined people. When you left home, those people were like your grandmother, or your auntie, like a surrogate mother, and they didn't take no nonsense. And so you must remember that. Mrs. Robinson, Mrs. Severin, Miss Severin, Miss Rosemary, Miss Ito, all these people.
So you respect, and also the students in turn respected these people.
Yes.
All right. And at that time in school, and I always like knowing those kinds of things. What was taught in school at that time?
Arithmetic, English, and things about Christopher Columbus, George Washington, King George.
Those kinds of things.
We didn't have like Black history.
None of that.
We didn't have what you call social studies. It was just strictly arithmetic, English, and you learn to read.
You learn to read.
Yeah.
And what you use? Books?
Yeah, we had the CanPad exercise book. Back wasn't in the same.
Mrs. Frederick spoke about that last week.
Yeah. Your CanPad, and behind on the back cover had everything, all multiplication, addition, all kinds of stuff.
You had a whole book, Bobby, or half?
We had to cut some in half, yeah. Because the CanPad had 2 staples, so you could cut it in half, and that half would have its staple and the other half. If you had a whole, whether it was half or whole, you folded it in 2 and put it in your back pocket.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And your pencil?
In your back pocket.
In your back pocket?
Yeah.
And you go into school?
Yeah.
You had uniform, Bobby? Don't remember?
I don't remember whether there was a uniform code as they have now, Yeah. But it must have, because we've always been British and conservative in our approach to things, so we would, I'm sure, have had uniforms.
Did you like school?
Yes and no.
Okay, tell me why.
Well, I always like to do what I want, and then I do that at school. And I always got into trouble at school. In fact, now I'm having issues with my 14-year-old son. I realize he's just doing what I used to do. You know, it's not bad. I wasn't bad. But I just...
You like your own way.
Yeah.
Do it your own way.
Yeah. And so you could end up in trouble. But I didn't do bad academically either. Okay. I was always like in the top 12, top thing. You know, I just didn't excel to be number
but
one.
You know why, Bobby? Because you like doing what you want.
Yes.
Probably if you didn't like doing what you want and did what the teachers wanted you to do and your parents, they probably would have been in the top 2, top 3.
True.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that at least you still acquired some academics, you know,
I did.
during your days.
From mixed school, I went to Rosa Boys School, then Chateau. The Wesley High School is now, that's called Chateau.
Chateau?
It used to be Chateau, yeah.
Okay.
So there were a number of us there, George Daniel, all these guys we all went there, Cecil Bramble, Donald Peters, we all went there, and from there to grammar school. Grammar school was where All Saints is.
Oh.
That's where the grammar school was. And we went in khaki pants, brown...
Short pants?
Yeah, khaki short pants, a hose, khaki shirt, a tie,
shirt?
and a straw hat.
A straw hat?
Yeah.
Why would you give children a straw hat to go to school? But that was the uniform.
That was the uniform.
And you all were quite fine with that?
Yeah. Then we progressed from that into the white shirt and the khaki pants.
And the long pants?
Yeah.
But did that happen while you were at school?
Yeah. I remember when...
The transition?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because a lot of guys, for instance, guys like Geoffrey Harris and Julian Johnson, these guys were in like fifth form when we came in, and they were in the long pants.
Okay. Yeah. But you still had to come in with the short pants?
Mm-hmm. I went to grammar school in short pants.
So
I don't even think I made it into the long pants.
No?
No. I went to grammar school in short pants.
Okay, because I'm thinking if the other guys were on their way out already getting short pants, I thought probably...
No, the long pants was for like 4th, 5th, and 6th.
I see.
Or 5th and 6th.
Okay.
Something about.
Alright, so what are you saying to me, Bobby? You didn't make it to 5th form?
No, I'm a dropout.
Oh my God.
I'm a dropout. I didn't go to college. I didn't go to university. I don't have no degree. I'm a school dropout.
Do you remember why you dropped out?
Because I want to do what I want. So I get there late. They asked me to, that time punishment was like one clean the yard.
Okay.
I wasn't going to clean the yard for nobody. So I just went home.
Oh my God, Bobby, uti awe what? Uti can really fess out in there. So you go to school, you get to school late. Again, you doing what you want, I'm sure. So your parents send you to school. You don't probably get up in time to get to school in time, or you stop somewhere along the way or something. Bobby, what was causing you to be late?
Little boy moves them, man. You do things you go in the back of station for fruits. You know, probably go in the river and bathe. Because that time we weren't, you know, you wasn't like being problematic. You know? You make two back. You go, you climb a tambourine tree, big tambourine. You go bathe in the sea, you go bathe in the river. Then you go home just around lunchtime.
Bobby said you go home just around lunchtime. So they finally figured you out and figured out you're not coming to school. Yeah. Did they report you to your parents?
No, getting serious on that now. I was going and reflecting on this thing. When I realized it, because remember to start with, you don't have a father around.
Right.
Your mother's now left and went to England.
Oh,
so you're living with your grandparents, or your uncle, your aunt. They're good people.
Right.
They're good, but they have their own issues to do. And if you're not showing any attempt at, not stressing them, well, then you're on your own.
Check your sin.
Right. So there was nobody really to say, well, why ain't you at school? Why don't you go back to school?
I see.
But as soon as they realized that I wasn't going, it was like, hey, well, there's a mechanic job there for you.
Okay.
So you don't want to learn, You know, academically, well, learn.
Get into the skills.
Yeah.
Technical skills.
Right.
So Bobby, wait, I need to go back to you on this. So you making tubac, you doing all of that. Principals say to you, you have to clean the yard. And you decide, fuck up yourself.
Nah. Yeah.
And you quit school.
Yeah. But like I said, I didn't turn bad.
Mm-hmm.
I did have my challenges along the way, not having the academic qualifications,
Yes,
but
yes.
that didn't stop me from seeing something that I wanted to do and go and do it. Because, like my first job after leaving school was as proofreader for the Dominica Chronicle.
What?
As a proofreader.
How did you get that job?
Well, I had a friend who worked in there.
Get big Pascal Pafini Leko.
Right.
Oh, you becoming a proofreader.
Exactly. Well, that, like I told you, I wasn't stupid. I was smart.
Right.
So I could read.
Right.
And even if maybe some of those who had stayed in school went up to fifth form, didn't have that ability. So when the Chronicle needed a proofreader, I had a friend who worked in the printry section of there. He told me about it. I went, I put in an application, and Stanley Boyd gave me the job.
So a proofreader at that time would be like an editor? Or it's just
Well,
like just had to...
basically, okay, let's put it this way. The reporter, Emil Lancelot, wrote the story.
Right.
He gave it to Mr. Boyd, the editor,
Right.
who made the corrections.
Right.
Then that corrected story would go down to the print room,
Right.
where they put it in types.
Okay.
You know, that time we had lead types. Later we got what's called a linotype. Where you
Help us, Bobby. Help us understand that. Not to lose your train of thoughts.
Yeah.
But tell us what that was.
While printing is not like it's done today with all this photographic stuff.
Right.
Back then you had what was called lead types.
Lead types. How did that
So,
work?
while you had you had the capital type and lowercase, you had capital case and lowercase, and those were single units of
So like a
letters.
typewriter then?
Okay, right, sort of like the typewriter. Those were individual units. You put them together.
Okay.
And so once the story now was put into lead type, and they made a proof of it, and that's where I came in, like corrected. For instance, let's say the spelling was could end up with W-A-S-S. So you have to
Remove the S.
Right.
So that was Bobby's
So
job.
I made the correction, sent it back to the printry. The intern would correct those corrections, and give me another proof again. Until you know, do like 3 of them before it actually went into the page.
But you had a big role, Bobby.
Oh yeah. So not graduating didn't stop me.
Didn't stop you.
No.
Didn't stop you. But I think in the same vein, you would still want to encourage
Oh
those
yeah,
in
I
school.
definitely will tell them, go ahead, because I wouldn't say I was lucky, but at that time you just had the right what you call environment. There were people who looked out for you and people who you really couldn't disappoint. And so you got guidance. Okay, for instance, when say somebody like Mr. Boyd gives you an opportunity like that, you know, and I progressed from proofreader to reporter for the paper too. I did.
You were a reporter.
Yeah. So when you get these opportunities, you don't mess up, you know, and you move on from one to the other, you know.
So you got the opportunity to be reporter, and I hope we didn't leave anything behind in terms of the previous conversation we were having.
No.
So you become a reporter. You move from proofreader to reporter.
Yeah.
And that opportunity was given to you. Was it an opening that became available?
Exactly. What happened was Emil Lancelot, who was the reporter, he got a government job.
Okay.
So he left, and they were in a bind.
Oh.
So as a proofreader, I saw the ad for the reporter, and I also knew that Emil wasn't there. And remember, I was like Emil's understudy,
Right.
having to correct all these things. And so I put in an application before the ad was published. And Stanley Boyd says to me, "Are you sure you can do that?" I said, "Yeah." So that time a new car had just come in here at Springfield Trading.
A new car?
Yeah, so I went down there, I got the brochure for it. and I just copy and paste. In terms of whatever was written about the car, you take it off and you put then you put in Springfield Trading and how much the car is and create a story. But it was easy to do it because I had years experience, yes, and I had the information.
Right.
So I put that together and Stanley's.
That was your first story?
Yeah, and I got a job on that.
Oh my goodness.
Then after that I was, I had to go to Mr. Dr. Trusser's father.
Yes.
I would go there every Monday morning and I would get a synopsis of who was arrested, why they were arrested, who was going to court, that kind of thing.
So you would get your court story and your police news?
Everything.
Wow.
So that's where this whole Bobby Frederick thing started.
Is that so? You see, we're learning about you tonight. I'm going to tease your memory a bit, and I don't know how much you can remember about this, but when you became a reporter, do you remember any of the big stories around that time you were a reporter?
Wow.
It might be a tough one for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, things were written, say, but mostly it was nice things. You had the criminal.
It was nice things.
Yeah. Well, you were writing about Edward Oliver Leblanc, W. Stevens, and Ducre, E.B. Henry. What bad can you say about these people? You know? You know, policemen on the day, the police officers, Mr. Doctor, Mr. Philip, you know, these were people of integrity, people of principle.
What kind of stories then did you write about Bobby at that time? What kind of stories did you write about? Just regular daily things?
Let's take when the road was open to daily sales.
Right.
I remember the road only went to Lack Lane. So then you have this thing, and within that was the incident where 5 men had died on the landslide in the building of that road. So that's one story. Then the opening of it, the people who were there, and so it's a big story. I
would have never thought you were a reporter.
Oh yeah.
Never would have thought that.
I've been writing in the House of Assembly, sitting there, taking notes for, again, the Chronicle, and for DBS. When DBS started, it was called Windward Island Broadcasting Center, just a little thing on the side of the library, Weebs. Jeff Charles was the announcer there. He was a Grenadian engineer. And Jeff's father, Mr. Charles, wrote little stories for him, but he was an old man, you know, past his time. So as a young thing, when I wrote for the Chronicle, I'll just make a radio copy, and Jeff paid me, I think, maybe like $20 a week or $20 a month. You know, so I was getting paid for the DVS, getting paid for the Chronicle. For
a high school dropout?
Yeah.
You were not doing too badly, Bobby?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Oh, no.
Right? How long did you remain as a reporter?
Maybe about 2-3 years.
2-3 years.
Yeah. That time Parry Bellot was like, he'd write columns. Well, in fact, when Mr. Boy went on holidays, Parry would be the acting editor.
Okay. So
Parry and I go way, way back. Way back. Yeah.
Okay, so so the reporting experience was a good one for you.
It was.
You learned a lot.
Learned a lot, you know, and you kind of, for lack of a better description, you get to be in certain
circles.
Yes, you know,
yes.
You get to know things, and you know, that's why I understand that degree of trust that people like you or Matt or so will try to exercise, because people will tell you things. You have to say, no, you didn't hear, you don't know, but I know better.
Absolutely, you've been there.
Yeah.
So from reporting, what did you move on to?
I did the same thing that Emil did. I went to work in public relations for the government with Clifton Bell and Francis Andre. Mr. Senior, the president, was cabinet secretary. Mr. Shaw, the next president, was a PS. Mr. Sorrento, another president, was a financial secretary. I worked in public relations then.
Hey, Bobby, let me tell you. So as far as I'm concerned, Bobby just a Rasta man. you know, with his little vibe in Newtown, Harlem Plaza, and so on. And I know Bobby went up for a party in politics. But this is all, it's very, very nice to hear these things, Bobby. And it's really nice to get to know people and get to know people's stories, because who knows that if I wanted some tips in reporting, I could have gone to Bobby Frederick, knock on his door and say, Bobby, I need some tips, you know, in reporting and even PR, to think that you did public relations. I think this it's all very surprising to me, and I'm sure to many persons who don't know your story at all. And I didn't know any of that. I'm learning all of this right now tonight, and it really warms my heart to be able to hear that kind of thing.
That's the type of thing that gave me the confidence to step up on the political stage.
I see.
I wasn't afraid to talk or afraid to get out there and I made no promises that I knew I wouldn't be able to keep, which is what most of them are doing.
You knew not to do that.
I knew not to do that. Again, growing up around people like Mr. Liebler, Mr. Stevens, Mr. Henry, you know integrity, you know truth. You know that is not to say these people didn't have their faults, you know. They had two little friends. Yeah.
Well, but what is new about that anyway?
Exactly. The point is, if you had a public trust and you have something to do, step up to the plate and do it properly. And you know, stop thinking that you can tell people to go there and it's over there.
How did you get the job in PR? How did that come about?
Well, again, there was a vacancy. Like Clifton Bell used to be there with Francis Andre, and he left to go to England, and there was a vacancy. And that, as well, I was kind of bored with this other thing, you know, the reporting thing.
You're a Scorpion, you get bored easily.
You get bored quick, you know,
Yes.
so another challenge.
Yes.
And so I went down there. At that time, you were getting $109 a month.
$109.
Yeah, you stayed by your grandfather, you'd have to pay rent, you'd have to buy food, you just buy monge or cocktail.
Bobby, that's what you were doing, Bobby?
What else to do, you know?
$109 today would be valued.
1 day's work.
1 day's work.
Capington now is $150, $120.
But how much value was it to you at that time?
Oh, it was a lot. You really couldn't spend it. You know, a bike, my first bike, I paid $450 for it. That bike today is $16,000-$17,000 bike. So you have your bike or a car, you know, all your friends, and at that time we weren't so selfish. Your bike is my bike, as long as I showed, you know,
care for it.
Yeah, and there was nothing to spend money on. So
from the $109, by the way, did you have to pay Social Security and income tax?
They didn't have that.
In fact, no income tax or Social Security, so you didn't have to pay anything, Bobby, from that?
They may have had some, I don't know what they did out. That's something I think called pay as you go.
Payee.
Payee, yeah.
Yes.
I don't too much remember about that.
I see.
All I know, I had $109.
All you know is you had $109 that you could buy your little drink and your thing and relax.
So now, let's say you pay the bakes and red juicy somewhere. You can pay for your bakes and your red juicy by Malo Black or by Miss Olive, you know.
Wow, interesting. $109.
Yeah.
$109 as your salary for a month. Not a day, not a week, but a month. And Bobby, tell me what time period was that? 19 what?
Well, I left in 69, so that would be like between 65, 68, thereabout.
65, 68.
Yeah.
65, 68. Okay, and so $109. So soon after that, you would have migrated.
Yes, I migrated.
But before that, you mentioned that your mother had also left.
Yeah, she left years before.
She had gone to England?
Yeah.
Okay. Gone to try to make a better life for herself?
Make a better life, yeah.
And your brothers and sisters?
Yeah, some stay there.
Okay.
Since I've been back, the more impact brother Philo is the only one that has remained there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you decided to go to England?
No, to Canada.
To Canada.
I had an older brother there.
Who, so you got fed up of the government job again, Bobby? What was going on?
Exactly.
You got fed up.
Yeah.
Time to move on. How many years? 2 years, 3 years again?
I got my papers to go in about October. So I says, well, I'll wait for November 3rd, have a water. That moved on to Christmas, another water. That moved to Carnival, another water. So when I left in February, the middle of winter, I get to Canada and my clacks. I tell you, the clacks get wet, man, and I just freeze, my toes freeze, fingers freeze.
So, Mommy, you don't know what you're going to then.
All I know, I go in.
You funny that you're going to Canada.
Yeah, I don't know about winter port or those things. I just go up.
Your clacks.
Yeah.
And your long pants or short pants?
Long pants.
Long pants. Yeah. But you freezing to go. You
freezing to go. Cold, boy, and my toes freeze. I start to cry. I have to come back home.
How he say he start to cry. Sabina, good evening to you. Tuned in. So how did you get to go to Canada? Let's go back to that. Let's backtrack.
Well, back then they wanted nannies, you know, a lady to take care of your child. All these Jewish people up in Forest Hill and that kind of place, you know. So they would send down here for girls, like say a dozen girls go up. Okay. Girls who in their 20, above 21. And these girls would in turn send for their boyfriends to get married. So my brother went up to meet his girlfriend, they got married, and now as a married couple, they sponsor me. Oh,
I thought you were going to tell me your girlfriend sent for you, you want me?
Nah,
that's So your brother and his wife sponsored you to go up to Canada?
Right.
And how did that work back then? Did you just get papers to just
go? Very easy. You did the medical, I remember at 40 young a white man would come down, we went to an interview. But basically it was a done deal. Once your brother, once there was somebody up there to take care of you, you weren't going to be a welfare charge, charged to the state. And so just went up and jobs were there like joke, man, that time. Man, there's a lot of work and school.
And school.
Right. That's why I did a little more academic.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I went to
but by then you had already warm up, get some better shoes.
Oh yeah.
Get your winter coat.
Yeah.
And your vibes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when summer come now, summer was like carnival. It's colorful, it's warm, it's nice, you know. And so had a very warm time.
Yeah, the very well, Bobby, I suspect you had like a more time.
Still do. Why do you think there's that in Plaza?
I tell you, right?
Yeah.
So Bobby, so you got to Canada and you said there's a lot of work, there's a lot to do. So tell me about your life in Canada and what you did up there.
I worked. I worked.
What kind of work?
No, I couldn't get a job because all the papers, although they have all these jobs advertised, the first thing there's Canadian experience. So if you don't have Canadian experience, but if your brother is working somewhere or a friend of your brother, they pull you in there. So I started working. What did I do? I worked as a printer.
A printer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went now to the practicals of printing.
Yeah. Right.
And while I got this job to run a letterpress for this Jewish man, I also went to George Brown College, where I did a technical thing in printing. That time it's called lithography, because it was going from letterpress to offset, where you took a photograph, produced it on a plate, mix water and ink onto that plate, and run your printed stuff.
By then, Bobby, I'm sure you would have matured and realized the importance of education and academics, as opposed to when you were a 12-year-old boy, docking school and so on. By then, you recognize the importance.
Yes, that's true. But then you're like a child in a Christmas shop in Toronto, you know. Then you have the opportunity for education, personal improvement, but there's also you suddenly material, the cars, the white girls, and it's one time bought that time.
Bobby, so Bobby, you didn't leave any chick in Dominica then before you left? Any chick, any girls in Dominica then?
My best friend, take my girlfriend.
Bobby, you're killing me.
My best friend, he couldn't wait for me to go on the aeroplane.
You joking?
Yeah. And he and the chick come airport to see me go. They made sure I left.
Bobby, you're kidding me. So your best friend and your girlfriend came to see you off. And your best friend take your girlfriend. So that was before you left then, Bobby, that was going on?
No.
It's after? Oh.
Yeah.
So
I guess he provided a shoulder for her to cry.
So what you say? My best friend take my bride. Maybe she, you know what? Maybe she was just really sad and depressed that you had left, and she turned to him for comfort, and it just happened. Did you forgive them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
when I come on holidays, I stay with them.
Jesus Christ!
I stay with
You stayed with them when you came down for holidays.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Bobby. Bobby said his best friend take his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you were in the land of many, many women.
Oh man, don't talk about it.
Don't talk about
Nah.
it. Say loud, say strong.
I'm what you for.
So you had a good time in Canada?
Yes, I did. But of course, I mean, it was personal development
of
too.
Course,
like,
of course.
Yeah. And of course, there were challenges because as a young man, you end up doing things there, you follow the wrong crowd for a moment, you know, and you
also you did some of these
cross paths with the law, but you learn quick. You don't have to prove to the law that you can beat it.
Right.
So you just agree, hey, you know, and put yourself in order.
But is it anything that got you in deep trouble, or just
No,
something
not really.
here and there?
Not really. Just, you know, you be with people who do bad things, and when they get caught, because you're there,
you're a part of it.
Yeah.
You're a part of it.
So you learn from that, and do you continue to be with that kind of energy, or do you put yourself in order?
Right. Yeah. And by then again, Bobby was a much more mature person, I guess, who could make sense out of nonsense.
Oh yeah, because you have to do that quick. You know, because you cannot stay at your brother's home.
Yes.
You know, you're in the way. You have to get your own apartment.
So you did that.
And you have to work in order to pay your apartment, get your vehicle, all of that.
So you got your ride, you got your apartment, and you were living comfortably.
Yes.
In Canada.
Yeah, in Toronto.
In Toronto, Canada. Did you as well continue in terms of the academics? Because I know you said you went.
No. I just went into business.
You just went into business?
Working for myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, tell us.
Buy cars, set them up, sell them.
Is that from your mechanics background when your grandpa,
Yeah, you have a mechanical background. Plus, it's like there was 3 of us there from Dominica, young partners, and one was very good at doing body work. The other one was good at painting, and I have that flair for selling snow to the Eskimos.
So you all did that?
Yeah, and so we had connections. For instance, let's say a company had cars that they list out for the year, and now they get back these cars that are still in good condition, but a little nick here and there. So you get it cheap. Just you had a good body man there from Dominica who's good, and then he sets it up. He had a painter, and just turn it over to some white person.
And they buy it, and you make money.
You make money.
Good profit.
Yeah.
And you just continued along that?
Continued doing that until I got bored and went to California.
Bobby, I suspect you couldn't do something for no longer than 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, for real. That's why Harlem Plaza is stressing my butt off.
It's stressing. You can say your butt off.
Yeah, it's stressing me out.
It's stressing you
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to Harlem Plaza as well in a while. So you went to California.
Yeah.
You went to Cali.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where now, yeah.
They bought us that.
Wine reefer and woman.
Bobby, let me ask. I need to ask something before we even continue. Were you a Rasta by then?
Yeah.
Or bald? Which were you?
No, once I hit California, by the time I left, because again, my latter days in Toronto, the keyboard player for Bob Marley, Tyrone Down, we call him Jumpy. There were a couple of them around, like Jumpy was there, another guy, Johnny Osborne, who we called Bumpy. There was Jamai, myself. I sort of managed that little group, a musical group. So the keyboard player for Bob Marley was with us.
Okay.
And then he got this call to meet Bob. So he went down and started with Bob in New York, come up to Toronto. We saw him there, they spent time with him. They left, continued their tour, and then we selves went down to...
So you spent time with Bob Marley?
Oh yeah. I introduced Bob Marley to Tofu Burger. He didn't know what that was.
You introduced him to Tofu Burger?
Yeah.
So you hung out with him?
Yeah.
What kind of person was he, Bobby?
Cool, a short partner.
A short partner?
Yeah, you hear about Bob Marley, he seems like a giant of a man. Bob Marley is just a short partner.
A little short partner?
Yeah, like a short partner.
With dreads?
Yeah.
Plenty
Powerful
bongos?
energy.
Powerful
Powerful
energy.
energy. He just impacted on people. Yeah, very, very powerful energy.
So you spent time with a legend.
Yeah.
You got to know him and hung out with him.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool, Bobby. That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, that's why, some of, I won't say that I'm not impressed with some of the people who think that they are, but I've been, if you walk with Jesus Christ, you're not messing around with little people.
That's right.
Or you don't allow little people to mess your energy.
I get you. I get you.
I want to think, and then Peter touched my roller skates to go roller skating in Golden Gate Park. I had a big skate store in the Bay Area. That's when I went down there.
To California?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went up to the Bay Area, opened up a reggae shop, a skate store. And
just know. Okay, Bobby, pause. So in Canada, you met Bob Marley. You hung out with him, you hung out with his folks, right?
Yeah.
So we were talking about the Rastafarian part. When did that come into play?
Well, from that time there.
From that time?
Yeah, from that time. So it was...
So did Bob Marley influence that then? Or were you
not
already
really.
heading in
His
that
music
direction?
would have had some influence.
Okay.
But you're meeting a lot of Jamaican brothers, and not only Jamaicans, the guys from St. Vincent, St. Lucia, were very conscious.
Very conscious.
Very conscious. And it wasn't about locks and ganja. Some of them used ganja in terms of making money, but they had other skills. And that's the difference between over there and here. Because when I learned about Rasta and ganja and all of that, people didn't sacrifice their skills to just smoke ganja and be a Rasta. If you're a musician, you sacrifice things for the music.
Okay.
You don't sacrifice the music for. So that's why these people are successful musicians. The guys who are painters, who are drivers, even guys who are students.
They gave up things for the music.
Not just for the music, for whatever it was. Like they wouldn't give up those things just to smoke ganja and be a Rasta. Right. They had a purpose in life.
They had a purpose.
And you're around these people, so you learn. And I guess that's what has given me a sense of purpose in, like, when I come down here, rather than just, I put myself in order.
Okay, let's talk a bit about the Rasta before we get into Cali, when you got to Cali and what happened in Cali. We have to talk a bit about the Rastafarian consciousness and the belief. So I want to find out, is Bobby a Rastafarian, a conscious Rastafarian, or does Bobby just have locks?
No, it's not just a fashion thing for
It's not
me.
fashion.
I have locks, but there's also a deeply ingrained doctrine inside me.
What is that, Bobby?
And it's an ethical thing, you know, and you live with nature, you do good to your fellow man, you know. And it's not limited to locks, because in fact, some of the most challenging experiences I've had was presented by locksmen, not ballhead.
Really?
Yeah, like ballhead never messed with. Well, I won't go into that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
That so you know, it's not. At the same time, locks and Rasta has done a lot in helping me to remain on the straight path. You know.
Has it worked against you in any way, Bobby?
No, not really. Well, again, in North America, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I left off there. I didn't like the idea that you would question me. I like, who am I to have this nice car or have a business or anything, you know, and they don't understand and they fear. At that time, there was more fear of you than, you know, a lack of understanding and a fear. So I said, boy, I know Dominic, I've been here, let me go back where I'm king.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
What did you understand as to what was happening in Dominica in the 70s with the whole Rastafarian movement and all of that?
Well, at that time, let's put it, I'm not here, I left in 69.
Mm-hmm.
My friends, you know, you had like the thing here went two ways. There were those who was like dreads and was into this aggression and that kind of thing, and then the ones who were a little more academic and you know, more from the Selassie thing, you know, and they had their issues and challenges. In fact, I was there in 74 on holidays and didn't pay attention. I saw people like Peter Allen, the Trotters, who I grew up with and knew. I saw them with their locks, but I come down bald heads and I'm my American woman. It's not that I check in, you know. Since then, I understand what the struggle here was all about, and I sympathize with some of them. Again, too, here it was a lack of understanding. I guess it was necessary for people to face what they had to face, you know. We're all better and stronger for that. So.
And as a Rastafarian brother, Ras Bobby, are there things that you do and you don't do as a Rasta? So, for example, you might hear a person say, Rasta don't eat meat, that kind of thing. What are your own doctrines, what are your own principles that you live by as a Rasta man?
Okay. This is where my age comes out. I'm 70 years old.
70?
Yeah. I do a lot of tours where I meet people. I take these photographers, these journalists to meet people who are 100, 105, that kind of thing. And these people meet all their lives. Okay? Back then, the ones who are older now had more of an organic type of meat to it. Right now, it's all contaminated and pose a real health risk. But back then, you know, those old people had agouti, manipu, wildlife, and even the stuff that came in didn't seem as unhealthy as it is now. So I'm saying that to say I had my fair share of meat, and look at me today. I haven't eaten meat for over 40 years.
Wow.
And look at me.
You look good.
It's all about habits. So I'll tell one, if you don't want to develop the habit of eating meat, that's okay. But if you want to eat meat, that's okay too.
All right, okay.
You know?
Okay.
It's up to you, but at some point you're going to have to, you'll make a decision to suit yourself. But meat never killed
anybody.
It's just like when lights came, you know, the man in Daily says, Non, c'est pas jamais tué personne.
C'est vrai même. You know, people are saying that you look good for 70, which is the same reaction I had when you told me earlier on that I could not believe that you were actually 70 years. You have a little gray beard thing going on there. Yeah. But I think that's just wisdom in the beard.
That's true.
Wisdom and knowledge
but
right there.
The fact or the secret is hang out with young people.
Hang out with young people?
Yeah. You take examples from the older people in terms of how you know your morals, your thing. But young people will keep you young at heart too. And young people are positive, right? Young positive people. You hang out with them, you sensitive to their wants and needs, and you know you don't take advantage of them. You stop them when they're stepping out of line. But just hang out with them.
You just hang out with them.
I'm not saying like young chicks, you know, because if something work out, what you make a choice.
See something work out. Bobby, I suspect you had really like the ladies, eh?
Yes, I used to.
You used to like the ladies a lot. So one time you come in with your American chick.
Yeah.
You come in with your American chick. White chick?
I have 4 children born in America. You know.
4 children born in America?
Pretty girls.
Pretty girls?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But one called me, she tell me I old and I slow.
She tell me you old and slow?
Yeah, the other one tell me I was a bootleg father. You know. Because you see, again, if we want that a bit, you know. Because the thing is, you have a child in Toronto, then you leave and you go to California.
So you had a child in Toronto, we didn't say that?
No. I have a child who was born in 72. In
72?
Yeah.
Okay.
I left there about 76. I went to California. I have 2 children in California. Then I leave there, I come up to New York. I have a child there. Then I come home, and I don't want to leave home. I'm happy at home. So these children, you know, and so the way a lot of people here know me, my kids don't know me now. They'd be surprised if this, you know, because that's why the one says I'm a bootleg father.
You are indeed a bootleg father. In that case. Oh my goodness. How many kids do you have in all, Bob, if you don't mind me asking? You have 6.
Yeah.
That's still not too many for a guy who loves the ladies like you.
True.
No, that's still not a lot.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to give me a really big
man,
figure, like 12
No.
or 15 or something
well,
like that.
maybe I was moving so fast.
Let us talk about when you left Canada and they're laughing bootleg father. Let us talk about when you left Canada and you went to California. So by then you were getting a bit bored of what you were doing in Canada, so you went to California. What did you go to California to do? Or what brought you, what led you to California?
The reggae music, I started the coolness in Canada. And you read about LA and it's warm and nice and Venice Beach and, you know, Hollywood. So you just head down there.
And that is it, Bobby?
Yeah. I didn't know anybody there. I met a guy, a black guy. He says to me, damn, you look like us, you dress like us, but you just don't sound like us. And, but you have beautiful spirit, beautiful energy. And that was
so that he became your friend?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Up to today.
Up to today.
And through them, I met others and others. But then same thing again. They, like these guys, the first ones I met, they were wardrobe assistants in Hollywood. Okay. So they worked in the movie thing and hang out with them, go to parties here, this, that. Yeah. I went to a guy's home, massive house, big swimming pool, and he can't swim, you know.
In California?
Yeah, massive thing, and he cannot swim. Yeah. So, you know, I left them there and I went up north, which was...
So you didn't stay in California very long then?
No, I didn't stay in LA long.
You didn't stay in LA?
I moved from LA to up north to the Bay Area.
Okay.
That was nicer. It's
cool,
not hot, not dirty, you know. And Oakland is a beautiful black city. Back then it was. The Black Panthers. Nice things happening, and it wasn't far from San Francisco. just across the bridge, or take the Bay Area transit system, and in Frisco doing all kinds of stuff, you know. And the other thing, all music acts pass there. Everybody pass there. You stay one place, and they will all, because San Francisco is a big city. You have Frisco, you have New York, you have LA, Chicago. So Frisco is big, and everybody will pass through there. So you just stay close to San Francisco and you see everybody. Still Paul's, Still everybody must pass there.
Must pass.
Yeah.
And Bobby getting to see all of them when they passing.
Sure did.
Sure did. Sure did. So what did you do in California though?
Well, I had a reggae record shop because there was nothing so in the Bay Area.
Okay.
You had Sam the record man who they had, you know, North American music, and they had what was called an African section, and where they had some African music, couple old Bob Marley, Jimmy Cliff. Not even Bob Marley, more like the Jimmy Cliff, Toots and the Maytals, you know. So I like roller skates. That was happening. My wife, then her parents were cool.
Wait, oh, you got married?
Yeah.
You got married. We didn't mention that. Where did you get married? In California?
Yeah.
I see. But question though, with your Canadian papers, were you able to live in the US at that time?
Well,
or
when
did
I
you
got
have to get married to
I got
get?
my green card.
You got your green card.
So right now we have a green card and a Canadian citizenship. If
I see.
anybody want to
Buy it. You can sell it to them.
same price as a passport. Passport price, I sell it. Canadian citizenship
For sale.
for sale. Passport price.
So you opened your record shop and you opened your, was it one-in-one, the skating business?
Yeah, and that was the beautiful part of it. You had the music, the reggae music, and skates.
Okay.
Big place, bigger than Harlem Plaza. So there was always a party, there always a band, you know, bands pass. So anytime they came to the Bay Area, they had to come there.
They had to come to that record shop.
Yeah. And that was the happening place.
So you met many.
Everybody.
But Bobby, you big time.
Well, I'm a humble man.
Yeah, I know that. Well, we know that for sure. We know that. But we're happy that you're at least sharing this with us.
Yeah.
So you stayed in California for a while?
Yeah.
You
Got
stayed there?
into trouble there too.
You did, Bobby?
Yeah.
What kind of trouble?
You know.
There's something here and there. Bobby not giving us the details of the trouble, but that's okay. We won't press him for it, right? We're good people on the In the Spotlight radio show, right? Oh my goodness, it is 18 minutes already past the hour of 9 o'clock. We're just gonna take a quick break, give Bobby an opportunity to sip on some water, and when we come back, we're gonna find out what happened from California. Keep it locked. Bobby, I'm enjoying this. I really am. I'm having fun with you, and I know the listeners and the viewers as well. We're coming right back. This is the In the Spotlight radio show. Keep it locked.
We're doing all right?
We're doing wonderfully. They can still see you on Facebook. Yes. So your son, Kumba, is there. You, Sabina, you want 3 hours tonight.
Who's that?
Sabina. She
Sabina Williams.
Sabina Williams. Yeah, she's watching. She's quite enjoying actually.
To know our farmers, our public servants, youth, and the ordinary Dominica. Listen to their stories. No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred.
Bobby, they're dying on you there. I want you. Not little kicks.
In the spotlight.
Bobby said, got in trouble.
Every Monday nights from in the spotlight.
Oh, Jesus have mercy.
One-on-one with interesting personalities, educational and informative topics and issues, intriguing and entertaining, a must listen to. In the Spotlight, Monday nights from 8 p.m. on Q95.
In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio, every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight, featuring people from all walks of Dominican life. spotlighting their triumphs and tragedies, dreams, hopes, and aspirations, untold stories, touching the human and personal side of our people in politics, religion, sports, business, music, culture, the media, and more. Getting to know our farmers, public servants, youth, the ordinary Dominican. Listen to their stories. No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the spotlight will also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. Alright, I had to do a little something there for Bobby. I had to give him a little Bob Marley. And give you a little Bob Marley too on the program. Yes, we were singing along. And probably we can get into a little singing business. You never know, right? So Bobby, we're going back to Cali. So Bobby got into a little trouble in Cali, but he was okay.
Oh yeah.
He was okay, right?
I always land on my feet.
You always land on your feet.
Yes.
So after that, Bobby, what did you decide to do?
I came home.
Oh, you came back to Dominica.
Yeah.
All right.
I was in 81. And that's right after Eugenia had gotten into thing and, Ted on the church and that whole thing.
Ah.
And I was around then.
The Bocosio thing and so on.
Brutality going on and stuff. And after a while, that was boring. That was really boring, seeing people, what we were doing to each other.
You didn't like that?
So I left and I went to England.
Oh, you left again?
Yeah.
So you didn't. Where was your wife then?
That was the trouble.
That was the trouble. Were you misbehaving, Bobby? Yeah, of course. Bobby being Bobby, right? Yeah. So you were no longer married.
No.
You were no longer married. Then you came back home.
Yeah.
And then this time you decided you go in Europe.
Yeah.
You're going to England.
Yeah.
What was the objective of going? What's the goal of going to England?
I went to see my brothers and my father and sisters up there.
Okay.
I liked it.
You liked England?
Yeah.
But England is just as cold.
No, it's not as cold as North America.
Okay.
And it's North Americans are really clones of Europeans, they're not real. Europe has more culture.
What you say, North America not real?
No, they're more like clones. They're doing a thing, they make you believe there's the strongest.
But you don't think so?
They end up voting Donald Trump for president.
Oh, let's not even go there. Oh my God.
But the whole point is, England at the time was just nice because, things you'd heard about Wembley, you go check that, you read about the longboats on the river. I had to check that.
And you know what, Bobby? I think you're just an explorer,
yes.
A traveler.
Yeah.
You like that vibe.
I like that. But it's something I do here, that's why I love doing tours. I did a tour today. I was in Freshwater Lake, Trafalgar Falls, Watton today.
Today?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll be doing another one tomorrow. I love doing that.
You love doing that?
Because I'm all over the place. I get to show people Dominica through my eyes, They enjoy it, they love it, and that's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the England trip now, is that something that was long term for a while, or you just?
Well, I ended up staying there for about 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
2-3 years.
Yeah.
That was your limit, and then you bored and you gone.
That's why Harlem Plaza is 10 years now, and born here won't last.
So got it fair, right? So you stayed in England for 3 years, and what did you do? You worked.
Yeah, I worked as a painter. I played music.
You play an instrument?
Yeah, I used to play a little bass guitar.
Oh.
So I team up with a Dominican guy, Leon Nibs, and we played music at a club. Then I worked. And I just came back home.
You came back home 3 years later.
Yeah.
You decided you're coming back.
Stopped and came home.
England, not for you again.
Yeah.
Bobby, you are special. You know that you're a special breed. But you bringing so much joy to me tonight. It's not funny at all, you know.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting all about the very long day that I had today, you know,
Yeah.
and being here with you. You're making it so very easy for me tonight, I must admit.
Thank you.
So you came back to Dominica, and what was the intention of coming back home? What were you going to do then?
Well,
What was the plan?
I wasn't sure.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't sure.
I came home, I got musical equipment to sell and rent, you know, kind of thing. But with my big hat, I lent the thing, and before you know it,
Yeah, nothing.
right. And lo and behold, my good friend Andrew Amor, hello Andrew, gave me a job as a tour driver for him.
Oh.
And the rest is history. Yeah. Let me say hello to Nikki, to Kumba, to Yamiko, to Seychelles, to Farika, and to Yabai.
I suspect that's your children.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So you came back and you started to do this tour thing.
Yeah, the music thing went belly up.
Yeah.
I didn't learn from that because look, I wasn't going out and
So that Harlem Plaza beating you, Bobby.
Yeah.
It beating you up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrew Amor gave me this job, and it was tailor-made for me.
Mm-hmm.
Tailor-made, you know. I had my American accent. I was articulate. I was a Rasta man. I knew the nature, and I loved going all over the place. So it worked out just nice.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I worked for him for a while, and I realized I was bigger than him. So I set up my own thing, and that's where I am since then. Again, I was doing good in the hospitality thing, doing tours, Coco, I don't know if you know Coco Cottage.
Of course.
In Gingerette.
Mm-hmm.
And I found the best thing to do is take my money and go and...
Invest in Harlem Plaza.
But as real estate, it's cool, you know.
Yes.
It's Lemon Power, Mogata Plaza, it's real estate. It is, so it's not a loss.
Right.
I mean, sometimes I feel like I wasted time, you know, but then again, what else would you do?
Mm-hmm.
So, when I'm ready, but I love the tour thing, I love the hospitality thing.
You came back home, you worked with Amor, then you decided that's not for you anymore, you had your own thing. Did you have to buy Harlem Plaza or was it your property?
No. You see, that's the other thing. People always ask me that question, who die and leave that for you? Nobody die and leave anything for me. I work and I just use my money properly. So I started with Coco Cottage. Some people slept there Friday night, Monday morning they buy it from me. Just like that.
Just like that?
Yeah. So I paid off my bills, I did another one.
And you just gave it up like that, Bobby?
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah.
Business.
Then I went on to Gingerette, same thing while I did. These people came.
Where was Gingerette?
In the Lago Valley.
Lago Valley, okay. And Coco Cottages was in Trafalgar, okay.
So then again, I dealt that out to these people.
So they wanted it,
Yeah.
and you said, okay,
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
give me my money,
Yeah.
and you can have it.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
But you should have continued though, Bobby.
Well, that is the thing. But I stopped at Harlem Plaza because I felt, and that you see all this nonsense that went on there last carnival, you know, with this, because I spent a lot of money and time helping people, you know, to the point where people know me say, boy, you foolish, you this, you that, but it's my hand thing. And like
I've heard people say that.
I lost nothing because the value of the real estate has gone up. So that's not a problem, you know. And but just the time spent and the things you go through, I mean, all kinds of nonsense, you know.
So what is the status of Harlem Plaza as we speak?
I am not interested in doing anything there anymore in terms of
activities,
shows and kind
No?
of thing. No, I am just me and my son there. My brother is there, and I know partners come. They watch TV.
They hang out.
I've been getting calls to do things, you know. But that's the same thing because that's how it started. You know, like 3-4 years ago, you realize, hey, this is nonsense, and you went out to that. But then you stay in, not to make money because you're not making money, but if Harlem Plaza not there, where you want to do this, where you want to do that, and so you stay in there and stay in there. So now I know where people want to do what because I see it. The strip is okay, five-star bar is okay, forefront, forecourt is okay. Well, go there.
And you're fine with that?
I fine with that. I fine with that. And I'm not interested.
Is it the trouble of having the activities there, or is it the people that who want to have the activities there? What really is the reason why you don't really?
Well, it's a mixture. I've never had any problems as such. You never heard any shooting, stabbing, that kind of thing. So it's a combination of things, you know, and of course the icing on the cake is I'm bored with it.
You're bored with it. Well, let one of the children take it over.
They're not here. The only one that is the little boy who's at the academy.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't worry. If I was to sell it, trust me, I have 1,000,001 things I can do. Because again, with my mind and stuff.
So if somebody comes to you today and say they want to buy Harlem Plaza, will you sell Harlem Plaza?
Go with it.
Take it.
Of course, the right price.
The right price.
Yeah.
Not no deal.
When I sold Coco Cottage, just the clothes I had on me and I left.
Wow.
Well, I can buy new shoes now, I can buy new shirts. You know, so.
You don't mind.
You know, so it's the same thing there. And at the same time, if it doesn't sell, it's not a problem. One of my kids will inherit it. And I don't care. They tear down what's there, put an apartment building, put a greenhouse, whatever, I don't care.
You know, it does not matter to you, right?
It doesn't matter to me.
So Bobby, so as it is right now, you're simply involved in the tours. What are you doing now?
Again, some specialist tours. I'm not interested in, not that I have money or I cannot.
That's what somebody might be saying. Don't worry, Bobby have a bullo somewhere.
No, man, I was foolish. Whoever it is, I was foolish.
So you just do some specialist things.
Right. You know, I enjoyed it today. I enjoyed it. Sometimes I go with Andrew. He's doing whale watching, swimming with the whales. You know, I get certain people call me and refer me to others to me. You know.
And you enjoy that.
I'm enjoying that.
I mean, you are in your twilight years. You're 70. You know, so I think you now should just be doing what you choose to do.
What I choose to do.
And when you choose
I
to do
can
it.
afford to do that. And again, it's not about money. It's a mental state. That, hey, do I, you know? It's like when you call me, yes, I can do it. If I didn't feel like it, I just...
Exactly, right.
My partner Ghost will probably be vexed with me because he's been asking me to come.
And I've been asking him to come here
Yeah.
too. He has agreed to come, so I guess at some point, you know, he just went to...
Ghost, I'm not coming until you get rid of those 2 years.
Oh my goodness. Talking about Bobby, at what point and what made you decide to get involved in politics? You ran for the on a UWP ticket. In what constituency was it? Roseau South.
Yeah.
Roseau South. What led to that?
It's a long story. I was involved in village council things in the valley. I don't consider myself a politician. I must see myself as a community contributor.
Okay.
It's a long way out, but I more contribute to my community. So being in Trafalgar, being in the village council, I learned a lot. I saw how to respond to the needs and wants of people. And so having a business in Roseau South, and they didn't have a candidate then because Bell wasn't,
I think it was Bell.
Right, he wasn't going up again. And me, you know, Mr. Happy-go-lucky, Mr. Adventure, I got nothing to lose, you know. So, but prior to that now, before the PM became DPM, it was Pierre Charles.
Right.
And me and Pierre, with the pushing of the PM and some other people, I was going to be the candidate in the Roseau Valley. That was even on the Sunboard before the Valley.
For which party?
For Pierre Charles.
A Labour Party?
Yeah.
Well, you are Labour, right?
Yeah, I guess I'm still a Labour. No, I'm a Dominican.
No,
I'm a
my,
Dominican.
my guest does give it to me good,
Yeah.
on that show.
I'm a Dominican, because to me, Labour Party and workers is like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
I see.
You know, there's some serious issues facing Dominica, and we need to deal with them as Dominicans, not as Labour, not as workers. But the point is, I was supposed.
But there has to be the labor and the workers. And
Oh
so
yeah,
on
I accept
for that. You know.
I accept that. But they can put some petty shit aside and deal with real stuff. Anyways, so I was the man for payroll up there.
Is that so in the valley?
Yeah, it was
So
all
what
set up.
happened, Bobby?
Well, what happened is the PM became the PM, and you know, it's like if I had a thing to give away, you know, I give it to Ghost or to one of my partners. So he had something to give away, give it to his partner.
I see.
So now I don't have a slip thing, you know, and I'm there, and workers don't have, and it's not a problem.
So just like that, Bobby, you move from going for labor
I
to
just
going
went on for workers. I did well too.
Please tell me that it was centered around wanting to help people.
Well, that's what it was. And I'm seeing, up to now, I still see, because for now, you know, I look at the people we have, there's people that are ready to do what Dominican needs to do. Like right now, for instance, Roseau South, I think from after the divorce is there, from the school, they backfill this thing, somehow get some kind of development going along that thing, all the way up to carry sand and stone. It can be done.
It can be done.
And that's the thinking and discussion and conversations we need to have.
Right.
And to me, the two candidates that are there, yes, they feel it, they're blocking a hole, but they're not going to really, they're not thinking, they're not talking the thing.
What would you suggest to them, Bobby? You mentioned about doing something from the whole back area there. What's the thought? What's going on in your mind? Because I know something has to be going on in your mind for you to give that suggestion.
Oh yeah, because
what would you do with that?
For instance, if you've driven up there recently, you see the amount of stuff they've dumped in Lally Coco. You see how that they've increased the acreage there. They have a lot of stuff dumping. And if we had to flatten some hillside to get more stuff, but I think we can reclaim from all the way along the coast there, and then from there we move on.
And do what with it?
Look at Rodney Bay in St. Lucia. That's what they did. They connected Pigeon Island to the thing, all the backfill that they put in there, and then they built these hotels on there. That's what we ought to be thinking now.
I see.
For Roseau South.
For Roseau South.
Roseau South was always famous for its bakeries. That's still happening there.
Fishing,
you know. All those things need to be taken seriously. You know, there's a lot of money invested there. Suki, Egbert Charles, Macmillan, Norman Road, the Amors, the Perrymans, the Winstons. There's a lot of money invested there. And I don't hear these candidates talking big development. 2 gallon has 2 pieces of 2x4.
that's not enough.
You know, me, Harlem Plaza, got over $250,000 worth of damage. I had no insurance.
Oh,
Am I wrong?
You're wrong. Yes, take your wrong.
I take my wrong. But when you watch me and you give me 20 yards of tarish and 12 posts, and I drown in 9 feet of water, you give me 6 feet of rope, and you happy? Come on.
I'm drowning in 9 feet of water and you're giving me 6 feet of water.
Yeah, they extend 6 feet of rope.
Yes, I get the analogy, I get it.
Yeah, but you know, and you clapping yourself that you give me 6 feet. Nah, man,
Yes.
you're not ready for me.
I get you.
You know what's invested there in Harlem Plaza? What's 20 yards of tarish and 12 posts gonna do? And at $260,000 worth of damage. You know, there's the same thing. When I was a youth growing up, the Newtown factory, which is what it was called, the shilling for that, there were about 40 people directly involved. And plus the how you call it, the side, you know, indirect employment. Now the place is there, it's still there. come on, let's talk big.
Let's talk big.
Yeah.
So these candidates need to listen to you a bit.
They should.
They should listen to you.
Yeah, and they should come to us, in the people who have invested money and time in Roseau South. And, you know, it's a shame to see, I mean, say what you want about everybody, but when you get carried away on that.
You're not getting carried away, it's okay. Let's talk,
To
Bobby.
me,
Talk.
it's like Anchorage, Cicero, Evergreen. These are labor of love establishments.
Yes, yeah.
When they didn't have passport money, then people was there doing things that enable us to be where we are now. Hey, give them one passport. Give them a page from a passport. But let them, because all of that is helping to degrade the thing, you know, those places are closed. I'm not saying, oh, what they do with their money and all of that. Because when their money was there, just like me, when mine was there with Valiant Plaza, everybody was happy.
Right.
Well, now, come to the other, come to our aid.
Yes.
So that's the level of politics.
So Bobby, you mentioned earlier that you actually did well when you went up for workers.
Yeah.
How many months did I'm sorry, I have to
3
go back.
months.
3 months.
3 months. I just decided one night, hey, I'm the guy. And
You just decided one night you're the guy.
yeah.
Yeah. 3 months.
Yeah.
Of-
And in 3 months, Ambrose George and I went to grammar school together.
Your partner.
My partner, I couldn't go out there saying tipa this and you know, I didn't do that.
You didn't do that.
Yeah, I just said
You were clean. You're on a clean campaign.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I picked up close to 1,000 votes.
You did.
Yeah. And even the second time there, when I didn't go in 2014, everybody had told me, hey, it's your turn, you know. Because the thing is, people were tired of Ambrose. It's not so much what, I hate to say it that way, what the other people did. People were just tired of Ambrose.
Okay.
So anybody who had gone up there was going to cut his ass.
Right.
And so if Bobby Frederick had gone, and everybody that come to me.
Yeah, but Bobby, 1,000 votes is a lot in 3 months.
Yeah.
That you just wake up and say, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
Yeah.
From Labour Party in the Valley to wake up and say, I'm the guy for Roseau South. And Bobby still come and get about 1,000 votes.
Yeah.
Bobby,
And honestly,
you did well.
If I was younger, I stayed in and fight.
You stayed in there and
I
fight.
stayed in and fight if I was younger. Because I see what can happen.
What did you run on, Bobby, when you ran? Do you remember?
Yeah.
What was your platform?
Create employment to youth. I'm totally disgusted with the level, the condition of the Newtown Savannah. I think somebody should attend to that. These people, again, give them a passport. One passport. Because the Newtown Savannah has provided a lot of positive energy. And it needs to be taken to another level.
Okay.
So you give one man in the valley 600 passport, and nothing to the Newtown Savannah.
I don't know about that, Bobby.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Good night, Mr. Gregoire. That's one of my mentors, Sheldon Gregoire.
Bobby, I'm going to try to take some calls for you on the program. Let me give you the numbers. They are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 449-3095-9697, and the lines are already lighting up like crazy. We're going to take some calls for Bobby. If you're living outside of Dominica and you'd like to call to contribute, you can do so on 305-432-9624. Those of you who are listening via Facebook, I'm going to try my best to coordinate the calls to keep the mics close so you can hear as well. But as I've always said, understand, this is a radio program that I'm just using my page to just give you an opportunity to see. All right, let's take this first call. Good evening. Good evening. Good, thank you.
Excellent program.
Thank you.
Bobby,
Yes, sir.
you are an inspiration. Well, you have always been an inspiration to me.
Thank you.
Listening to you tonight, it just concretizes my whole appraisal and my appreciation of you as a person, the down-to-earth person that you are. Someone who has to be admired, inspiration. And one thing I'd like to say, I'm not going to stay very long, but this program was an excellent and inspiration. It's a program of everything. Terry said my vision, that's where my love for country is a real patriot, someone who has a genuine love for people and interest in development of people and things. I just want to correct one thing, because I know you said probably in 5 years.
I know, I heard that.
Just want to say, Bobby, for people like you in Dominica, there's still a lot of space for you. There's still a lot of long expectations for you way into the future. So don't say it all too soon. I'm not God, but I'm hoping that God gives you a jazz, He gives you a lot more life. Because I know personally for me, you have been an inspiration and support. I cannot ever forget the kind of support and inspiration that you give me in my time since I've known you. And also to my admiration for you, the way that you always willing to open up your conveniences and your facilities to whoever wants to understand the core and the objective of what is being done for the good of people. So way beyond the twilight years, I think you have a lot more that you can offer to people. And keep doing the good things that you said, I know.
Yes, my dear.
Again, this is just a program where I'm one of your number one fans.
I know that.
Just keep going on. You know, at one point, I want to confess to you, I thought we were losing the rest of the program, but tonight has regained that what do you call it, the originality.
Indeed. I've been trying to do that since I came back post-carnival. Yes.
I don't care what anybody says. I fully agree with you in the anchorage that there's there. I fully agree. Don't be afraid to say it. I fully agree with you. Because I think most support should also be given. And let us not forget, Newtown was once the capital of Dominica. Newtown and that old there from Newtown Savannah all the way down has contributed a lot to the cultural, historical, and indigenous landscape of Dominica. And the people of Newtown are to be proud as we call it Bobby. And Bobby who knows, gather all the business people from the area and get it going, because you're right, you have a vision and it's good to see where you're going. And by the way, one last thing, your son did very well this morning at the chorus speech competition.
Oh.
Very well in their footsteps.
Thank
you so much, caller. I of course know who that caller is.
Oh.
Thank you for your contribution.
Of course, I heard the thing about the twilight. But,
sorry, Bobby.
Being a nice person you are, I said let that pass. And for Ferdinand's sake.
For Ferdinand's sake.
For giving
your schoolmate. Hello, good evening for Bobby. Hello. Good evening. Let's take this one. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you, Ferdinand, and good evening to Bobby.
Good evening.
Very good program.
Just want to let Bobby know all his siblings are listening and enjoying the program. This is Sarah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
From Toronto.
Okay.
All right.
My old city. My old hunting grounds.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I will never forget these stories tonight, I swear. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Ferdinand. Good evening, Bobby.
Good
Yes.
evening, good evening.
Bobby's number one, the word twilight there. It may have a different meaning.
Well, thank you.
Two different types of light.
Oh my goodness.
Today, I passed Bobby. I was also in my big bus with my many passengers. Bobby, I'm now here, was on tour with it. But you see the difference between me and Bobby? Bobby's got one special client in a convertible, and he's going past me, and we greet each other. You know, Bobby has a style that is unmistakable, and he is sort of avant-garde. Bobby also, when he passes on his Harley Davidson or whatever motorcycle he's riding there, every young man must say, I want to be like that guy when I get older.
Oh, indeed.
All right, thank you. That's true. A lot of young partners tell me, boy, I want to be like you when I...
Oh, the vibes. Good evening. Good evening, good evening.
Good.
Yabai.
Oh, all right.
What is Yabai?
Well, yeah. Okay.
Let me tell you,
High Street.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, after you mentioned High Street, this guy is Napier. Where is Napier?
He's in Texas.
Okay, I remember you and DJ in that High Street area.
Yeah.
In those days,
For real.
High Street was swinging.
Yeah, yeah.
But great program, my brother.
Okay,
And
you thanks.
your leadership boys, you're one of us.
True, true.
All right. Thank you for calling. All right. And what is Yabai, by the way?
Well, years ago in California, this Jamaican guy wanted to call me. I think he wanted to say rabbi because it seemed like it looked like a priestly type thing. But so he couldn't say rabbi, he said yabai. And I like that.
Okay.
So I adopted that name.
Yabai.
Yeah. And so my last son, that's his name.
I
gave
see.
it to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening. Hello, good evening. I can hear there's somebody on the line, so I hope that person is not listening to their computer. Yes. Good, greetings, greetings. Kofi! Hi!
That's so fair, man. Because that's so entertaining and device was right. And Bobby has on the street. He has a vibe you kind of remind me of. He has a kind of a cool, and I think it was father. That device was natural and
Yes. And I'll tell you a secret, we didn't do any prep, huh?
We just
We
met
didn't do any
tonight.
prep. We didn't do any prep for the program. Yes. Yes, yes. All right. Thank you, Kofi. Thank you for always listening. Yes, my dear. Thank you. All right. Okay. Bye-bye. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. I can hear myself through your telephone echoing. Good evening.
Yes, sir.
What the most part I enjoy is the citizenship. Yes, passport said, oblivion said citizenship.
True. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening every Monday night. That's why sometimes I'm so sorry when I cannot be here on a Monday night, but sometimes I want people to understand that sometimes it can be a bit tough for me as well. So that's why I can't always be here, but I'm trying my best to be here every Monday night. Okay, that person must be gone now. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening. Greetings.
Greetings, Yabai.
Greetings, Moses.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember the first time I met you, I was like in my teens and I'm Pelita. That's the first time I met you.
Uh-huh.
And along the way, I think you stop for me when you drive. You meet me on the road, you stop, pick me up.
Yeah.
I want to attest to what you said as it relates to Europe and England. I think I totally agree with you. If I have my way another choice to defend these two countries, Europe and America, I'd rather, England, I love England. I love it. You're totally correct. Different people, yeah. There's no comparison.
Okay.
All right. That's the contribution.
All right.
Yes, thank you. Hello, good evening. Hi.
Well, Bobby, when it comes to the moment, last season, Bobby, Bobby do come from that train as a father, and Bobby think, well, let's pick the train, but the train is to do things in the plaza. Bobby, it's that, Bobby.
Okay, you're welcome.
Good father to my children. Bobby knows the vibes and everything. In my time.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Bobby, how about you?
All right. Thank you, mobile man. Pleasant night. Let's go to the long distance line. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Dominic, good evening. Good evening, your guys.
Good evening, good evening.
What?
Nice, yeah? Blessings.
Why is the human?
No, he's here, he's here.
You remember that roller skate? You remember that roller skate, man?
Uh-huh.
It's that blue roller skate with the red wheel.
Uh-huh.
Freedom from Cali. That's Jeffo speaking.
Oh, okay.
That was a nice memory, family. It's nice to hear the stories tonight.
Okay.
I know most of it. I remember New York. I remember, but some nice lessons tonight. But I really enjoyed it. Yeah, one love, family.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. Thank you for calling. Good evening. The man himself.
The long time I don't call the program.
I know that.
Good evening to Bobby Frederick because I never know he was original from River Street. That's your ISL coming.
Okay.
But there's love to hear the whole program and why he go up. Well, the biggest joke I get there, he has grown up in the valley for Labour Party.
One night the man just decided, I'm the man.
All right, take your time.
Thank you, man himself. Yes, definitely. So let's take this one. Good evening. Good evening. Indeed.
I laugh so much. But you know, I am not sure because I think I don't look for a while. I am sure such a hard industry. I'm not sure whether Bobby mentioned one of the things of employment. That is the social center.
So, at the social center?
I think so, you know. I think you were involved in some customs duty, you know, collecting from the customs and stuff like that.
I don't know if you're talking about the time I brought in the marijuana in Gainesville Airport.
You did, Bobby?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
I think I remember the name of because I did customs also.
Yeah.
Came to the whole instead of the town council, I think customs there.
Yeah, you're right, years ago, yeah.
Yes.
Well, that was a bit of a hiccup for me too.
I have to pause the callers after that
But
caller.
I landed on my feet as usual.
Bobby, what? Caller, thank you. Pleasant evening. Bobby, what did you do?
I brought in 40 pounds of marijuana at Gainesville Airport. They had none here.
What? They had none here?
Yeah.
So you brought in weed?
Yeah.
And they caught you?
Yeah. So they gave me a slap on my wrist and I didn't have to do that again.
That was it?
Yeah.
No jail?
No. Say, well, big man like this, that you doing?
No, I give up. Bobby, I give up. I swear I give up. You brought in 40 pounds of weed and you got a slap on the wrist?
Yeah.
You were
Well,
a fortunate man.
Well, it was just visionary, I guess, in that. Because look now.
So you were arrested, brought to jail,
Yeah.
and
Slept in the cell.
slept in the cell.
Yeah, that's why I saw the biggest cockroach.
Bobby, I don't know. I know I probably have not brought on half of the stuff that you really needed to share with us tonight. And so you had to go to court. And the magistrate at the time?
Was Ronald Amo.
And Ronald Amo said to you, a big man like you.
He says, you know, you have enough stuff there to kill over 100 people.
To kill them?
Yeah. I say, what's still?
What you said to the gentleman, Bobby?
I said, well, I never looked at marijuana as killing people. You know,
That was your defense?
Yeah. So anyways, he tell me it's $3,000 to pay $200 a month for.
And that was it?
Yeah.
And you got away?
Yeah.
You didn't try that again, I hope?
No. Well, that's the thing I've been saying from day one.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when things happen, you have to learn from that.
True.
So from that, I know, hey, don't try that.
Don't try that again.
Yeah.
Work hard.
Yeah.
Bobby said he didn't have none on the island. Bobby, you're special. Hello, good evening. Good, yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
On a serious note, he mentioned something about the use of stamina, which is a conversation that I had maybe just like 4 days ago. The grassing of the savannah, it is for me, that is something that I have been struggling for many years. And I don't know who is in charge, but because Bobby mentioned it, I was thinking from the perspective that why can't we get together as people in the community and just do something with the savannah in terms of grassing it, making it look presentable, because sometimes you see a host there, they're struggling, then some show comes, they kill the grass, and then you have to fight to bring it back, and it has been a struggle for many years. And I would like to see a savannah like that actually regrass, looking nice, green and lush, and where you can actually put a lot more and mow it.
Well,
it has to come to that point, and to me, it doesn't take much. It takes maybe just raking the dead stuff that is there, seed it and fertilize it, water it. And I think it has to be from that perspective, because you can't be throwing water on the salmon and there's no fertilization, there's no seeding. What do you think about that?
Well, the whole thing is they should stop having shows on the savannah. Because what that brings in, the revenue that is generated is minimal.
Wow.
If you were encouraging real sports there, you would make more money if you got one person to live there and go overseas to play football.
I agree.
So there's nonsense about it. And that's why I'm glad that Lale Coco has come up, that basketball stadium forecourt has come up, 5-star. Put those shows over there and let the Newton Savannah be for sports, period. And also, it is going to take more than fertilization of the seeds and a garden hose water in there. It needs to be attended to. And that's why I say, give them a page from a passport, but give them something to move forward with that place. Because you have the labor there, you know, the people there who will provide the labor. When I say labor, labor capital, but I'm talking about you have the energy there, but they need something. You have to give them something. You know, you want something out of them, you want to keep the kids in line and stuff, give them something.
All right, good evening. Long distance, overseas line. Yes, good evening, go ahead.
Shamil.
She is listening to the radio. Listen to my voice, please. Hello? Yes, listen to me, not your radio, because you're listening to a delayed program. Listen to my voice and speak to me and Bobby through this. Go ahead, my dear. Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Oh, okay.
I'm enjoying it.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you for calling.
Give me chance.
Okay, all right. So, Bobby, Bobby.
I told you I had to put another 2 up.
Yes, Bobby, I did not see all of this coming here this evening. Hello, good evening. Yes. You think so? This man is mad. The man was mad. But here his reasoning, caller. The man said he didn't have none on the island. So that is the reason why he bringing 40 pounds of wheat.
Right, but Bobby won't know me, but I know Bobby, my father and Mr. after getting this junction, goes down to Rosario. And Bobby has a piece of land just before my father. So you have to cross Bobby to get my father Bobby, he added things on that topic.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Yes.
So for that, he did not do it, but I went to Bobby, I thought Bobby was
Apparently. Apparently. Fred, I better have that shirt to there is a need. Indeed, I will, Sabina. Indeed. Bobby, so listen. Tell me about the car. That's something we know you well for. The car.
Which one?
The sports car. Where is it?
I have 3 of them.
Oh, you have 3?
Yeah.
I know. Did you have a red one?
Yeah.
So what is the red one?
Well, it's a Miata.
A Miata?
Yeah, Mazda Miata.
Mazda Miata. Is it still working?
Again, to this white man come.
We watch it.
His wife likes it. So, I
You sold it?
For his wife, yeah.
You sold it?
Yeah.
Your Miata, your red Miata?
Yeah. But I have two like it.
You have 2 like it? The same kind of car?
Yeah.
You like that particular kind of car?
I like sports cars. I like sports cars. I like motorcycles. Those are my priorities. You know, a motorcycle, a sports car, woman.
In that order? Motorcycle, sports car, woman.
Yeah.
In that order?
Yeah.
Bobby, you're too much. You're just too much. I'm not sure how much more of you I can take right now. So what do you actually use for the tours? You have a separate vehicle that you use for
I have
tours?
a little...
In the mic, Bobby.
I have a sports car that I use if it's a one person. But
if it's one person?
Yeah, if it's more than one, I have access to vehicles.
Okay.
I rent from Clarence Geese, I rent something.
Okay.
Somebody, you know.
Okay.
I rent a vehicle if it's more than one. But which one? Especially a lady.
Yeah, especially she's a lady.
We do our thing.
You get the car.
Yeah.
She gets the
Nice.
Miata.
Yeah.
That's right. How many bikes do you still own?
One.
You own one.
Yeah.
What type? A Harley?
It's a Harley type bike.
A Harley type bike.
Yeah.
And you still ride it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Bobby, you're fun, but at the same time, fun but sharing good information and taking us back down memory lane in a way that probably we've never done here. And your honesty, you're very honest about what you share with us. I mean, who comes on the radio and tells us that he brought in 40 pounds of weed because there was none on the island at the time? There was none on the island at the time. But Bobby, outside of that though, one of the things that you mentioned earlier to me is that you are able to almost remain stress-free. How do you do that? How are you able to keep calm, you know, keep your vibe going, not getting overworked, not getting stressed, and being able to continue looking the way that you do?
Well, there are a lot of things, you know, my diet, the limits that I place on who I hang out with, what kind of influence I allow.
Yes,
but most thing is an adherence to the man above, you know. So I wake up in the morning, I feel good that He's blessed me with some sunshine.
Right.
And I'm prepared for whatever may. I do have some challenges that may surface, and depending on my level of preparation, I can, because my problems like everybody else.
Of course,
I have to go in court because I go in courts. I have to make noise with somebody who's supposed to be doing something for me and they're not doing it. You know, I have my daily
You have your own
thing,
issues.
but I see a lot of people have it worse.
Right.
And I've been blessed so far to be able to not have it as bad.
Not have it as bad.
Yeah.
But Bobby, so from here, I mean, where does Bobby Frederick go from here at this point in his life?
Well, again, I know that I want to come.
No more politics for you.
Unless I'm becoming Prime Minister.
Unless you becoming Prime Minister.
Or Minister of Tourism.
Minister of Tourism.
Yeah, that's what I really like to do. And really shake up that thing.
Okay.
Because since, again, not to be political, but since Norris Prevost, we haven't had a creative, productive Minister of Tourism. Yvonne as it did affect it in a way, you know, positive, but not really by, you know, it's catering to the real needs. And the others that have passed through the young doctors, the child Sabre, that's what Robbie taught, 1 year. So if I had an opportunity to really make a contribution again, it's somewhere along those lines. But at my age, twilight zone.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Boy.
I will just for now play a role of, you know, advising people, telling, you know, if, you know, supporting people when they saying and doing the right thing.
Yes,
advising those who need, you know.
Yes.
I myself, I don't need to get any stress now.
You don't need any stress now.
Yeah.
Soldier, let's take this call as we're getting ready to bring the curtains down on the program. Yes, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes,
We can hear you.
Okay. Hey, Bobby, Karen, how are you doing?
All right, how are you doing, my dear?
I know it's been a long time since you man.
Yeah.
Quick question for you. I posed a question on the Facebook Live, but Frederick did not.
For that.
Yeah, it's difficult because messages are coming up. I don't get to see them.
No worries. Bobby, I want you to give us a quick opinion of what you think, how you think the young guys these days are growing up and their ambitions compared to back in the day when you were growing up. You and I worked together for a little bit, doing tours together.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day when I was about 20 years old, and you would see the young guys as guys working in Trafalgar, making a killing on a daily basis. And I was so disappointed the last time I went there. I was like, where are all the young guys? Where's like Bobby? You remember Bobby from Trafalgar?
Yeah. He's in Paris now. Yeah.
You know, they were a little annoying. You know, but they were making money.
Well,
Back in the day, at 20 years old, with my salary, and I was making back
yeah.
working, doing sports, you know.
Yeah.
I was making more money than my fellow classmates that were working at the basketball for the government.
That's true.
And my thing is, the way I see it, and I want to hear your take on that, like where do you see the youth these days, the young men, and what's going on with your young men? I'm going to hang up and I'm going to listen to your response.
Well, no, number one, the young men who at the time making money up there in Trafalgar, Bobby's gone, he's in Paris now, a couple of others have left. But most of them didn't, they remained around, but they didn't make proper use of the money. The people who made use of the money of there was the vendors, the ladies. They've all been able to build their homes and send their kids and grandkids to better opportunities. But most of the guys, you know, and now the whole system has changed. And in order to be a guide, you have to do courses and that type of thing. And some of them, as you know, they're not academic. They don't want to go down to town just to do a 3-week or 4-week thing, you know. But on a larger scale is the fact that there are a number of young people here who they're not lazy. They want to work. They smoke, yeah, they are wrong, but they're energetic. They're very energetic. And if they were given opportunities, so for instance, like I said, you know, if you look at the Savannah and the amount of football players who are there, and there's no outlet that they can go beyond what they're doing now. And it's the same thing with the tour guides. They do have some training. But they don't have much opportunity to go beyond, to invest, to feel like they're part of the product. You know, they just do a thing. Again, there are more ladies in there now doing the tour guide carrying, and then much guys now. And the ladies are they're creative, they're productive, they have a sense of purpose, and they're doing good. I don't know if that answers your question, you know, but you heard me talk a while ago about your dear cousin who is in charge of tourism. And to be honest, we need to revisit him and his whatever policy he has, you know. Another great example of the product not being attended to is what Clem Johnson is doing up there in Champagne. And since the hurricane, he hasn't been able to get it going, and Clem, like me and others, it was a labor of love. And I think that somebody ought to step up to the plate and help Clem to put Champagne back together. Not so much Clem Johnson's business, but to put Champagne back together, because it's an integral part of the product and it needs to be addressed.
All right, Bobby Frederick, honestly, I must say that I think nothing happens before its time, and probably this was your time to be here tonight. But a part of me almost says, my God, you know, why haven't you had Bobby before? But as I've always said, you know, we always knew that he had to be, and we've had the conversation, but we didn't get around to it until tonight. I want to give you the opportunity, Bobby, to give us some final comments on the program as we wrap it up. But I definitely want to say how much of a pleasure it has been for me tonight to have you sitting in this opposite chair and having an amazing conversation with you. I think sometimes on the program, depending on who the guest is, I forget where I am. And I just have a good time along with the guests. And I think I had a wonderful, fantastic time with you tonight. Over to you for your final comments.
Well, once again, let me say thanks to you for allowing me the opportunity to be here tonight. Like you said, it wasn't prepped up. When you came in there tonight, I could see you were tired, but now you look like you're ready to go already. You could do another 2 hours.
Yes, you know? Indeed.
Yeah. But having said that, let me also say thanks to all those people who have listened and contributed. And I hope sometime again we can do something.
You never know, we can do follow-ups.
Yeah, I kept hearing about the secret to my success, you know. Success is a frame, a state of mind, you know. And part of the mystic of that is that I've paid attention to the ones who come before me. I've paid attention to the ones who are there now. And there are some mentors I've had, you know, I don't know if I call 3-4 names, I still have another 400 to call, you know. So to all of the people who've given me the strength to hang in there and move on, who educated me in one way or the other, who made me a stronger person, I say thank you. And I hope in return that I've made a contribution to my community.
You have.
All right.
And you just made us happier people tonight with the program. Ras, Bobby, thank you so much. Bobby Frederick, thank you for being here. We had a wonderful, fantastic program. And I think, you know, many people are going to bed with a smile on their faces tonight because of, you know, the fact that you came here, you were so authentic, you were so real, you were humorous, you put smiles on our faces, you made us laugh. I just think it was just wonderful of you, and we are grateful, we appreciate it. Thank you, Bobby Frederick. All right, that is a wrap on the In the Spotlight program for tonight. God willing, we will be back here next week, Monday, for another program. Thank you so much, everyone. Those of you who were trying to get to the shower and could not get to the shower, I hope that you can do that now. Those of you who were trying to go get something to eat, do that now. Those of you who were disturbing your neighbors, you can quiet down now, okay? Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to In the Spotlight. We would love to hear from you. If you have suggestions of guests or topics and issues you would like featured